Hey everybody, I'm Suzanne Shirley. Welcome to tonight's Zoom call of Romi Neustadt's Get Over Your Damn Self. We are on chapter 14 tonight, revolving around the topic of taking care of yourself along the way while you're building this gig to a jewel level. Because I know that's what all of you on this call are wanting to do, is to build your business to the jewel level. And I just have to say, as an aside, I watched Carrie Cornwell recorded a video, and it's on the Perfectly Plexus Dream Team page. If you have not heard it, go listen to it. In fact, she reminds me a lot of myself and my own passions and the things that I would be saying and that I have already said thousands of times over in various different phases of my journey. Go listen to it. It's very, it's amazing. I just can't even believe that I'm an emerald. I really can't believe that I'm here. Even though I knew that it could happen and that it was going to happen, it's surreal. I can't believe, I can make a whole other video about this. In fact, I've thought about making a live. I'll just go ahead and say it because it's really valuable. I'm standing at the TJ Maxx and I'm checking out, buying a few little things, a few little gift items for a few folks. And the gal behind the register said, "So, hey, how's your day going today?" I said, "I'm just great, going great." And I said, "What about you?" And she's like, "Oh, I can't complain." I said, "Me either, girlfriend. I cannot complain." And she's like, "Well, why are you having such a good day?" And I said, "Well, because I don't have to work." And she's like, "Oh, hey, that is the best reason to be having a good day. You don't have to work. That's so awesome. So what do? You have to go back to work tomorrow?" And I said, "No, actually, I don't ever have to work again." I didn't laugh or anything like I'm laughing now. But I mean, as soon as she asked that question, what went through my mind is, do I go there? Do I just say, "Oh, I'm just a home-based business owner"? Or do I just go there? And I go there. I'm not afraid to go there. And I did. I said, "Oh, no, I'll never have to work again." And she just, like that, mouth drop open. "Oh, well, so you must be like a stay-at-home mom." I said, "Well, I'm a stay-at-home dog mom." But I said, I was a teacher for 23 years and I'm fully retired. She says, "Well, you look awfully young to be fully retired." And she was a black gal, so she had a little swagger in her little style that she was talking to me. And I said, "Well, I am pretty young because I retired 20 years early, but I did it." She's like, "Well, how'd you do that?" And I said, I was wearing my Plexus shirt. So I said, "Well, with this right here." I said, basically, it came across my path. I wasn't looking for it. And it's a health and wellness company. I started telling everybody that I knew about it. And 2.5 years later, here I am making 6 figures. And she's like, "Really?" I said, "Yep." I said, "Have you ever thought about earning a little extra money on the side?" "Oh, I can't do that. I'm not I can't sell anything." I said, I pulled out my phone, wherever it's at. Where is it? I said, "Well, you know what? Neither do I." I said, "I've been a school teacher my whole life. I don't sell anything. The products work. They sell themselves. I just make sure they get in their people's hands. And I use this all the time. I just use my phone. And, this is basically where I do all my work, on my phone." And I said, I built it the whole time. I was working full time as 50 hours a week. And I built it on the side. And she said, "Huh, are you married?" And I said, "I've been married for 20 years. And you don't have any kids?" I was like, "Nope, don't have any kids." I said, "I had kids for 23 years as a teacher." And again, I got this mouth open. And it's as if a person looks at me, or any jewel that could be standing there saying the same story, looks at me and thinks I'm somebody special. I've got some special magic, some special skill, some special something that got me to where I'm at that she doesn't have. And that is bull malarkey. It is such bull crap, because I'm just like everybody else. I just happen to believe that this was going to work for me. And I never stopped until I got where I wanted to go and met that goal. And I'm still not stopping. I want to keep going. I got big, big dreams, and I have to stoke the fire now. to keep those dreams going, because I accomplished the first one to get out of teaching. But I seriously cannot believe that it's Sunday night, and it's the second year of my retirement that's beginning, and tomorrow is a massive school day, and I will never forget what it's like to go back to school. And tomorrow is literally the third day of school in my district, the first full week of school in my district. And I remember dragging myself home, exhausted, spent, physically, emotionally, vocal cords gone, feet about ready to fall off, back hurting, neck hurting, shoulders, tension, hurting. Everything was not good. And knowing that I had days and days and days and days of that, I'm telling you, what is the most important freedom that has been given to me as a jewel? It's not my bank account. I make more money now than I've ever made, but a lot of it goes to the government. Just FYI, side note, a lot of it goes to the government. Almost half. Goes almost half. But the biggest gift is not the perks. It's not the Lexus. It's not the trip. Granted, this Maui trip is going to be the trip of a lifetime. But I'm telling you, what is the gift? I am not stressed anymore. I do not have to go to the stressful job. I have listened to video after video after video of what causes major disease. Stress. And the stress has been removed from my body. I have never felt this much peace in my life. And it feels good. And the other thing that people are having problems with, not only stress, but lack of sleep. Because when you don't sleep, you're stressed. When you're stressed, you don't sleep. It's a chronic cycle. And now I have both of those things added to my life. And I have my own time that I can do with what I need to do. And it is powerful. And so my bottom line to say this to you. Don't be like the woman standing behind the counter that just holds the mouth up and says, really? I couldn't do that. You know, I know all of you on this call that are listening to me live right now, don't think that about yourself. You believe that you can do this. You might have little phases where you don't believe very, very strongly, but then you'll gut back it up and you'll get your mind back in track and you will go for it again, right? But the people who are watching the video playback, you have got to believe in yourself. You've got to understand that it doesn't take anybody special to love these products. You got to understand it doesn't take anybody special to open your mouth and passionately share them and get them in the hands of people. Every single person I have sponsored this month, and I'm going to get a fifth one this week, God willing, is somebody who's tried the product, who's been on the product. So Romi Neustadt, I love you, honey. I love you. I believe in everything you say. But girlfriend, our company is so product driven and our products are so revolutionary that they literally do sell themselves. And so friends, I'm saying this to you, get the product, put it in people's hands, and then put it in the hands of influential people. Those three things in that order. Get yourself the product, put it in people's hands, and then go put it in hands of influential people. That's all you got to do. And then follow up, and sign them up. Okay? And I know it's slower if we go about it with the product. Trust me, Kelly Bruce is going to listen to this, and she's going to go, finally, Suzanne, you're talking about leading with the product. Okay, great. I love Romi Neustadt. Do I believe in leading with the business? Every time I talk to anybody that's trying my product, I tell them about the business. I tell them my story. Day one, I say, day one with nobody on my team, no customers, I would tell them, here's where I'm going. Here's what Christine did. Here's what Chris McCall did. Here's where they're at. That's where I'm going. I always told them the business. But the product is so powerful in our company. I want to ask you one question before I get started. And I'm going to try to make this thing shorter tonight. How many diamonds, how many jewels are jewels and diamonds in this company right now who started the product for a cheap discount, told their sponsor, I'm never going to sell this stuff. Do not tell me to sell stuff. I will leave you, and look at where they're at now. Is it slower to lead with product? Yes. Because we have to wait for them to catch the vision. We have to wait for them to catch the passion. We have to wait for them to believe. We have to wait for them to have sometimes a testimony. You know, sometimes people, it takes them a couple of days and they're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is incredible. I'm going to tell everybody. Sometimes they have to lose 30 pounds before they'll tell. Sometimes they'll lose 100 pounds and won't tell a soul. Okay. You can't predict what somebody's going to do or not do. But I will say this, you can count on the product. You can count on the product. It is one of the surefirest ways to sponsor people into this business with trial packs. Get the product in their hand. And if that's not with a trial pack and you have them join you and they join as an ambassador, get them on the team pages. Get them plugged in. Send them some product videos. Send them some testimonials. Get their belief level up. Let them start to see what this is doing for other people so that they know that this is what it could do for them. And then they're going to start to catch the vision of what Plexus is. And baby steps, slowly help feed that fire of their belief. So I just am I'm enthralled. I'm enthralled with Plexus, the originality of our company, the integrity of our company. I'm going to share another story. I had a girl that joined me a month ago, or 3 months ago. And it took her 8 months to join me. Tom and I met her at a restaurant way over a year ago and got her a stick of Slim. And she joined. When she joined, she sponsored dad, mom, sister-in-law, brother, whoever, best friend. Went silver and a few extras very quickly and was passionate. She has a little job that she runs with her husband. They have a little business. And she got so busy with that business because this is their big season that she said she was just going to put this on the back burner and then come back to it. But she was passionate about the products. So I reached out to her from time to time. She answered my questions, said she was doing all right. You know, I said, how are your energy levels? How's your water intake? How's your sleeping? What's going on? And she never would answer those specific questions. She just said, hey, girl, I'm doing great. This week we've been here, we've been there, we've done this. We're going to go on this trip. We're going to go on a vacation. She never answered my health questions regarding Plexus. What stage of the Plexus journey are you on? Are you on 2 Probio 5s at night? What are you doing? Never answered any of that. I touched base with her last night. Yes. Last night I did. And just because she was across my mind, I hadn't noticed that she hadn't bought for 2 months. I have so many level 1s, I didn't notice it. It didn't come across. I just didn't see it. And I just said, hey, what's going on? What's new in your life? And she responded with this massive diatribe of like, I've got all this I've got all these symptoms that are horrible. Nausea, cramping, headaches, cold sweats, this, that, fatigue. I keep just dragging myself around. It went on forever. And then my husband started experiencing it. And I don't know what to do with this auto qualification thing, this 100 thing. I just can't figure it out. And I'm just so stressed. I'm so worried that I'm not going to meet that every month. And I just removed myself from Plexus. I called and I removed myself from Plexus. I got on the phone with her. I'm like, you did what? Yeah, I got on the phone with customer service. Oh, and they were so nice. They, oh my gosh, they said, girl, you can come back anytime. You can buy product as a customer. You know, we would welcome you. You know, we wish you so well. Let's refund your last order. And they refunded everything she bought last month. I kid you not. That girl has been in for way more than 60 days. Her husband was on speaker at that point, and he said, well, I couldn't believe it. And then she said, but then I feel so foolish because my husband was really shocked and couldn't believe that this was really coming from the product. So he Googled all this. And it comes to find out that I'm experiencing all these die-off symptoms from this candida yeast thing I didn't know about. And I'm like, I sent you I've been asking the questions. I've been sending you. Oh my Lord, you never answered, you know? And she says, so now I realize the products are so amazing. They're so incredible. It was doing something good for me. Finally, something that actually works. And so I'm going to come back, Suzanne. I'm going to come back on the 29th. We're going to get back from our vacation. I'm going to join you again. I said, honey, I'm so sorry you removed yourself from the system. You can't join me again for 6 more months. If you would have called me, we would have been able to talk. If you would have texted me, I would have just told you to turn off your back order. No, now you've removed yourself. But I'm going to come back, and all my people that join me, they're coming back too because this stuff is amazing. I said, they're going to come back, but they're going to be my level 1 ambassadors, every single one of them, because you removed yourself from the system. So she's going to have her husband join under me, and those people are going to come back. She's like, well, don't you think Plexus will put them under? Nope. Plexus is not going to move 4 people under you because you decided to leave and come back. No, they're not going to do it. I can tell you right now, it's not going to happen. What's my point in telling you all this? People take sometimes the weirdest transition, the weirdest journey, the weirdest way of baby steps, non-compliance. They're not doing what they tell you to do. They don't listen to you. But the product is amazing. And eventually, most of the time, not all the time, they figure it out. And when and if they do, they're in. So this girl has belief, and hopefully she will join back, and she will be able to build a team with her husband, and she'll have to join her husband later. And those other people, I don't know what they're going to do. They're just going to have to be under me. I don't know. I can't imagine Plexus is going to put them all under her. I just can't imagine that. But I'm just saying to you that people will catch the vision because the product is so amazing. And we have something in our hands that is literally beyond comparison. You can't compare it to anything anywhere. This is it. This is the rocket ship of a lifetime. This is right under the 10-year mark of this company. We haven't even hit 10 years. We're headed for $1 billion. This is a debt-free company. We are backed by Morgan Stanley, the largest investment bank in the country. We've got to build it, and we've got to build it, build it, build it, build it, and don't stop. That's what I wanted to say today. That's what I wanted to get across. I mean, I am so passionate about these products, and I'm a massive business builder. I just started for the business, and I do talk about the business. I always talk about my money. I always say, you know, this is going to sound really cheesy. And I did this when I was in for 4 months. I said, look, I just paid my $1,100 house payment. I've been only in for 4 months. I paid my $1,100. I mean, that's what and that was like blowing people away then. And if I say, here's what I made this last month, it's going to sound really cheesy. And I don't normally go around telling people my salary. But I said, look, this is network marketing, and nobody believes what you're making. This is what I'm making. And they're like, what? They can't believe it. I'm just telling you, people will catch the vision. The products are incredible. They sell themselves. Get them in the hands of everybody you know. And don't waste time. Time is passing. So get the product in people's hands. Take care of yourself along the way. Chapter 14, I'm going to make this short, okay? We cannot run on an empty tank. We have to feed our own fuel, our own fire. And if we don't feed that, we have nothing else to give to anyone. I recently saw, oh my word, I'm going to tell you what I recently saw. A woman I know, I will not say a name because you might know this person. A woman I know who has lost an incredible amount of weight has put back 2/3 of it. Put back 2/3 of it. Lots of stuff going on in this person's life. Lots of chaos, lots of crap that she didn't plan going on in this person's life. And what happens is her business has fallen apart. I have wondered, where is this person for the last year? Gone. I mean, she's there. She'll post once a week, maybe. When you go backwards on your health, your business goes backwards. There is no other way to say it. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to stay focused on your own health. You've got to pour into your own cup. Build meaningful relationships. If you want to have a successful business, you got to have fun and spontaneity. That's part of the success. You've got to take care of your mind, your body, your spirit. I'm really scanning here. If you've got an already full plate, I understand that. You're going to have to add this element to the plate. You are going to have to take care of yourself. If you do not take care of yourself, have some me time, do some things for yourself, for your health, cut some junk out of your diet and really adhere to drinking your water and staying consistent on product and whole foods and plant products, plant-based foods, you're going to thank yourself because you'll have the energy to make it through. The best part about this that I'm trying to tell you is that when you take care of yourself, you're going to build bigger and have more fun along the way. You're going to build bigger because you're more successful. Look, if you're walking the walk, then not just talking the talk, people are going to believe you. Look, I am telling you something else. People that do not focus on their health and do not make this a part of their regimen have a harder time sponsoring. Ouch. They have a harder time building this thing. It's harder to have people look at you as a person of influence when you're not living the lifestyle. What are you posting about? If you're not just, think about this. You don't need to go on your social media and lie and talk about all the healthy foods that you're not eating. I'm not saying that. But if you're avoiding talking about your healthy lifestyle and avoiding showing people your health and your health journey, then how do they know you're doing what you say you're preaching about? That's why I think it's so pivotal that I talk about my own health, what I'm eating, what I'm investing in, my workouts. I'm passionate about those things and I post about it. If you go to the gym, tell your audience, I'm headed to the gym. Guys, it may be hard, but I'm going today. I am dedicated to my health. Whatever it takes to let your audience know that you're not just open for your plexus business, but that you're taking care of yourself. You put your own health as a priority. Every business builder is in the startup mode until their income is where they want it to be. And that their team is duplicating month after month after month. You cannot do everything while you're in startup mode. If that just describes you right now, then you can't do it all while you're in startup mode. You need to start picking the things that you can get rid of, that do not matter so much, that you can let go for a period of time. And if that's 2 years, okay. If that's 1.5, okay. A short-term trade-off is worth it, don't you think, to get to that jewel level where you don't have to learn to say no. Learn to tell people no. That is the most beautiful word ever, is when you have the personal power to set boundaries in your life and tell people no. Stop shoulding everywhere, S-H-O-U-L-D. Stop saying should. I should do this, I should do that. No, you shouldn't. And you shouldn't do any of that. No. So stop saying you should do stuff because you can't do it all. You are busy building a 6-figure income. You're busy pushing a massive boulder up a mountain. You don't have time to do everything. And so you need to quit saying I should. Stop it. Find the things that you can stop doing and spending all these things, all this time with, okay? It wears you down. You've got to start saying no. Romi talks about having, build your dinner at the kitchen counter from Costco where they just put their own dinners together. She was wearing a hat of a frequent volunteer. She had to give up her volunteer work for a while. You got to say no. And it's going to pay off. It will pay off. Say yes to help. Say yes to getting help. Okay, if you need help, like especially the bigger that your business gets, the more help you're going to need and want to be able to afford it. Okay. This person that she was talking to, Nell Merlino, a client of hers, she founded the Take Our Daughters to Work Day, said this to her. You know the reason that there aren't more women in women millionaires, Romi? You know why? Women don't delegate. Wow. Bam. Called you out on the carpet. Women don't delegate. They either do not know how to or they refuse to learn. And it's costing them dearly. That's why there's not as many women millionaires as there are men millionaires in this world. Get help with your kids. You're not a fraud if you have childcare. Did you hear that? I cannot tell you what to do. I have no children. I am not a traditional mom. Okay. I'm a dog mom. That's not the same in any way, shape, or form. But you're not a fraud if you have childcare. You got to get some help. If you can't get all your IPAs done while juggling your kids, then childcare is an essential business expense. It's essential. Okay, here's a big topic, and I put a big square around it because I think it's important, so I'm just going to say this part. I know some of you reading this are thinking, wait a minute, lady, I started this business so that I could build something around my kids. Well, me too, and you are. But I challenge you to introduce me to a CEO of a 7-figure business who didn't have at least part-time childcare while she was building her empire. Did Tory Burch, you know, the famous sandal lady, did Tory Burch miss a meeting with Neiman Marcus because she didn't have anybody to watch her kids? Nope. No, she did not. So why do you think that you're supposed to be able to build a huge business in an hour a day while your toddler naps? Ouch! Wowzers. As your business grows and you need to field 3-way calls for your team while you're still keeping up on your own personal activity, it's a necessary business expense and practice to ensure that you have a couple of uninterrupted hours at least a few days a week to work on your business. And if your kids' schedules don't allow for this, then you must go and create it. Okay? Hire a cleaning person if you can afford it. Or allow your house to become a cluttered freaking nightmare. One of the two, and be okay with it. You're going to have some trade-offs somewhere. You can't be the cleaning lady and build an empire. If you're constantly perfectionistically cleaning everything, you're not going to be building an empire. And if you cannot afford to hire yourself a house cleaner, which I can't, I honestly can't do that. So my house is dusty and cluttered in a lot of places because I'm still building it and I work from home. And when I didn't work from home and I was working full time, it was even worse. It's been over 2 years since we've had our carpets cleaned, and that's way too long because I can't think of a time where I'm going to be just available to pick up everything so that they can come over here and do this massive thing for 2 hours. Oh my gosh. Ugh. So whichever you can choose, but figure it out. Either allow your house to be a cluttered freaking nut house place and be okay with that, or hire yourself a cleaner. Say yes to personal development. So I know all of you guys get this. You got to be committed to personal development. It's crucial to your growing. Daily personal development is crucial to growing your business and growing you as a human being. It's going to feed your soul. Make it a part of your own team's culture. I'm talking to team leaders right here on this call. You have a team culture. What kind of culture are you trying to build for your team? I'm asking you right now. Is it one where we just focus on sponsoring and recruiting? That's definitely one thing you got to focus on. But what about personal growth? You know, a lot of you still can allow me to lead in that area, and that's perfectly fine. But at some point, you're going to have to step up and get some of your leaders into a team study, into a leadership study, and do your own thing. Okay? Eventually, make personal growth and personal development a part of your team culture. Make it a part of your own lifestyle. Say yes to exercise. You need to get some endorphins going. You've got to do it. You've got to be stronger physically. And when you're more stronger physically, you're going to be more confident in your business. You cannot afford to not exercise, people. You can't afford to not do it. Your body needs it. It's made to move. Say yes to downtime. That means me time. You got to have something that fills your bucket back up. What do you love to do? Go find something you love to do and do it, even if it's 15, 20 minutes or an hour. Here and there, okay? Do that thing. In a business where we must be magnetic and patient and resilient, downtime is essential. How else are you going to have patience with people? Magnetic and resilient. How are you going to be that way? You're not. Your fuse is going to be this short if you don't spend some time on yourself, okay? People who have regular downtime are more satisfied with their jobs and have improved work results. You're going to have better results. It's like when you get on the plane and the oxygen mask is said, put it first on your person next to you and then put it on your own self. If we don't put it on yourself first before you put it on your neighbor next to you or your child or whatnot. You got to take care of you first. I said it the wrong way. You got to put that oxygen mask on you first before you go put it on your child. Otherwise, you might not be aware long enough to help your child. You've got to help you first. Otherwise, how can you help anyone else, right? I love that analogy. If you're working smart and you're increasing your efficiency in your business, you're going to have some time for downtime, okay? Downtime cannot be work. Just FYI. Downtime cannot be work. You can't work and say, hey, this is downtime. It's not going to replenish you if you're doing work and you're calling it downtime. Facebook scrolling is not downtime. Please hear me. I don't care what you tell me and how you slice it or dice it. Scrolling Facebook and commenting on your friends, even in Plexus, and oh, that's cute and all that, that is not replenishing your soul. That is not downtime. Trust me. It's not relaxing. You've got to use something else to be your downtime. Start reading a novel, for crying out loud. I know that is so luxurious. Even if it takes you 4 years to get through it, read a paragraph or two at night before you go to bed. Do something for you. You cannot just constantly pour into other people. Start your day the right way. Check up from the neck up. Gratitude. Start thinking immediately, thank you, God. Thank you, God, that I'm alive. I have another day. That's what I would do when I was working my butt off. And I had to go to work. I had to get up at 4 a.m. Thank you, Jesus, that I do have this job, that you've given me this vehicle, that I can build a dream, a lifetime of dreams. Thank you, Jesus, that I have the energy to get up out of this bed, that I have my health. Thank you, God, that you've made a way for bills to be paid, and that you have a way for me to answer the problems of my life. Thank you for saving my soul. I mean, whatever it is that you've got to be grateful for, you need to take an inventory. First thing, do not pick up your phone first thing in the morning, because when you do that, you are going to see 1,000 things that you need to do immediately right away, and you will not be happy until they're done. And what does that do? It starts you out. Your day is in reaction mode. When you pick up your phone first thing in the morning, you are starting your day in reaction mode. You cannot start your day like that. Every diamond that I have heard speak to Jules in any capacity in those forums tells the Jules, do not pick up your phone first thing in the morning. If you have to, take your phone and charge it in the other room. so that you are not reaching over in the middle of the night or in the early wee hours in the morning picking up your phone. Do not use your phone for an alarm clock. If you use your phone for an alarm clock, you're just going to be doing the same thing. Starting your day off reaction mode. Don't do it. Have a morning ritual. Open your eyes. This is Romi's. Think about one thing I'm grateful for, then I mentally set my intention for the day. It's not for a review of my to-do list, but how I want to approach the day. What's my mindset? Okay, think about how you can start doing every morning, what you can start doing every morning to capture a few minutes to yourself to set the tone of your day. Unplug. You need to learn how to unplug. Research shows that unplugging leads to greater productivity and actually helps your team to develop their own leadership skills. That's right. When you're not always there answering their questions 24/7 at 2 a.m, then they're going to realize that they can go find the answer to their question. They don't need you to answer them all the time. Let them learn how to figure out the answers sometimes. So Romi likes to take some unplugging during her kids' homework time. She just completely turns the phone off during that time and spends time with them specifically during dinner and homework time. Okay? It's also important to unplug from work at least one day a week. So you need to turn that phone off maybe one day a week. Just turn it off. Set up your posts on Hootsuite and don't even look at the freaking internet all day on one day. Okay, whatever that day is. You know, you can turn your phone off for a day. You can take a day off, and once a year, you need to unplug from your business for a string of days, once or twice a year. A string of days. Unplug. Look, you're going to kill yourself if you keep burning the candle like that. You can't do it. Celebrate the little victories. Making the calls to 5 new people, reaching out to the scariest person on your list. What are your little victories? What are they? Start celebrating them. Big, huge thing. You know, still to this day, when I'm in my chair and I get a text that says, Suzanne, I think I've researched enough. I'm ready to join. Suzanne, okay, 10 o'clock on Wednesday, let's get on the phone. I want you to help me sign up. I mean, right after I finish signing them up, this is what I do. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I thank God immediately. Why? Because that person might be the next big rock star on my team. They might. You don't know who you just signed up. You have no idea. People will surprise you. Right? Celebrate the little victories. Celebrate them. Be kind to yourself. You got to be kind to yourself. While you're slogging up the mountain, even after you've reached the summit, like Romi has, making more than $1 million a year. She's a multimillionaire. You're not going to have it all the time. That's why you've got to do everything possible to take care of you along the way. You're going to have days where everything goes straight down the toilet. Your best laid plans for productivity, self-care, successful IPA will go out the window. You're going to botch prospecting calls. You're going to piss off somebody that's on your team. Trust me on this one. And when you do, cut yourself some slack. Cut yourself some slack. Show yourself some grace and kindness. Be good to you. All of us can ever ask of ourselves is that at any given time, we do our best. That's what I always told my students when they got down and out about something and they were so upset with themselves and they were just couldn't believe that this was the situation. I said, look, ask yourself this question. Have you done the best that you know how to do? 9 times out of 10, they'd say, yeah. I said, well, then what are you so upset about? I always say, if you were my kid, that's all I would expect of you is for you to do your best. And if your parents can't see that you're doing your best, you tell them to come talk to me because I see what you're doing in here every day and I will tell them you're doing your best, right? So be kind to yourself when you make these mistakes. All right. Some days, our very best may be mediocre or pretty crappy. That's okay. You're still a work in progress, just like the rest of us. Acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. Don't sit there and harp on it. Don't get down that you don't seem to be able to have it all and do it all at the same time. Building a big business requires sacrifice. You've got to prioritize your time. Taking care of you has to be part of your priorities because you are your most important team member. And with that said, next week, chapter 15, it's a family affair. This is going to be about you recruiting your family to be on your team. They are your shareholders of your organization. You can't do it without them. You need their help and their support. They've got to be as big of a part of your team as your actual team. Because without your family being on board, ain't nothing going to work. Okay? So that's what we're going to talk about next week. Thank you for joining us. We're going to have our discussion. If you didn't join us live, you're missing out on a great thing. We already had 30 minutes of a good talk. See y'all on the flip side next week, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Mwah.